Oi, tudo bem? Eu sou Luciana, da Street Smart Brazil, and today we are honored to interview Alex Martins, a Brazilian surfer who lives here in San Francisco. Alex is well known for charging huge waves at Mavericks and Half Moon Bay here in California. Now the good news for me today is that I'm actually going to sit back and enjoy this interview because I've asked Street Smart Brazil student Sarah Martins, Alex's wife, to do this interview for us.
Oi, meu nome é Sarah, and I'm excited to do this interview. So Alex, can you tell us a little bit about growing up in Brazil, surfing, and how you ended up in San Francisco?
Yeah, I grew up in Recife, Pernambuco, Brazil, and I got into from the influence of my friends, my childhood, you know, and I used to live in Candeias, Jaboatão, and we started, you know, all my friends, we all would go surf every day, and eventually some of my friends quit surf, some of them just did for fun, and I'm a very competitive guy, and I decided to start do contests, amateur, and then eventually I really got into and they became professional, got some sponsors, and you know, tried to make my living, you know, like you're young, you're just having fun, and they got to a point that I got tired of, you know, it's so tough to make your living surfing, it's not much money involved, you have to be the best, and it's so competitive, and I decided to quit and move to San Francisco.
And did you know there were big waves when you came?
No, I had no idea. I had no idea if it was even surfing here. I wanted to just change my life, you know, after competing for 10 years and travel around and, you know, stressing out with the competition. As I said, I'm a very competitive guy.
So how important is surfing to you now, and how does it fit in with your lifestyle?
Yeah, you know, eventually after 1 year, maybe 6 months without a surf here, I started to realize that some surf around here, and then one day I went out and the water is freezing cold. It was tough for me coming from Recife, Pernambuco. Eventually, when I got into surf again, I realized that how much I love surfing. It doesn't matter, and you know, I bought a wetsuit, and today I feel like surfing always been part of my life, and it's hard for me to live without it.
So you have now your own surfboard repair business that seems to fit in well with your lifestyle. How did you begin that?
Yeah, after a while, for a long time I've been working restaurant business, and that was the main reason so I could surf. I was delivering pizza at night and surf during the day, and some friends asked me to fix them board as well, and then eventually people were like, why don't you start fixing more board around for other friends, and all of a sudden I was starting quit some days and at the restaurants. And you know, and they got really busy, and eventually I quit the restaurant, got a space in South San Francisco, and so far it's been, you know, been making my living, and it's good for me because it's kind of flexible with my lifestyle, you know, when the surf is up, it's good, I can just go surf and then work later, and I don't have a schedule.
So you've been surfing Mavericks now the last 9 years. What's so special about that spot? And how did you get into surfing these huge waves?
Well, Mavericks took me a while to get into the place. It's such a scary place. You look at and you see movies, and you know, when you get to the beach there, you see so much water, so much energy, you know, and just influence of friends that I met here, mostly Americans. And they used to surf the place every time break, doesn't break very often, usually during the winter time, which is from beginning of November through end of March. And you know, eventually, like I said, I'm very competitive type of person. I really want to get into. I really want to be good at. And I started like work really hard, and eventually, year by year, step by step, you know, I got a little space over there, I think.
Now, as you said, looking at the photos and the video looks so scary and intimidating, and it's hard to believe you can cope with such huge and powerful waves. Do you ever feel afraid, or how do you deal with the danger involved?
Yeah, I don't know, it's something about that place, or it's me, or we all feel afraid, you know? I mean, every time I paddle out, it's scary until I get my first wave. It's kind of break the ice, and then at the same time, all this fear, this scary, there comes the you get some feeling that I won't have any word to explain. So like that makes your day, makes your week. You know, it's like that's how we live for. So.
And do you do some training to prepare for those waves?
Yeah, before when I started surf Mavericks, I realized that I had to train really hard to that place because it requires a lot of physical and more than a lot of mental, because to see a 50-foot wave breaking in front of you, that's the most scary thing ever. So you gotta be prepared mental. So I decided like that's how I started doing yoga, because yoga kind of like requires some physical and mental and breath too, you know. That really helps to build my confidence, because I think more than physical is mental out there. You gotta be mental prepared.
So you competed in the Mavericks Surf Contest this year, that was last February. Can you tell us about your experience?
This year, 2010, yeah. I got invited again for the second time, and then I knew I had to really, I just thought like, you know, doesn't matter if I win or lose. What people wants to know is like, they want to see you charging the biggest wave that comes. And that was my approach. And it works out well. I win my first hit, and I got fourth place in the semi-final. I almost advanced to the final. So yeah, it was an amazing day for me, I think.
And one of your waves was nominated for the Billabong Global Big Wave Awards, the Monster Paddle category. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised because it was my first wave in the Mavericks Contest this year, 2010. And I knew the wave was really big, but you know, I wasn't even thinking about being nominated or anything. I just wanted to like not embarrass myself in front of 50,000 people watching, whatever, and all the adrenaline involved, and you don't even thinking about it. And then eventually, you know, I saw the pictures. I knew that was the biggest wave I ever caught, and then eventually, yeah, I got an email said that I was nominated on the Monster Pair Billabong XXL this year. It was pretty cool.
Well, one more question. When you think about surf, what are 3 words that come to mind?
Liberdade, tranquilidade e paixão.
Obrigada, Alex. Obrigada, Street Smart Brazil.
Foi prazer muito grande.